A quick explanation of free love, Redheart. Listen, this will be hard to hear, but it's important. I need to know now. As you're looking for answers while he's thinking about her, the other one. Furthermore, even worse, my friend, for every moment you doubt yourself, waiting for him to find it out is pointless. Her rapport with him lasts 1 minute longer than yours. Construction is my recommendation. Time ticks. Every second matters. To nobody, Walter Riso is a professional psychologist and cognitive behavioral therapist. For 4 decades, I've explained a basic notion to girls like you. Magic isn't love. Strategy. With a third party, the winner is involved. She may not be the prettiest, youngest, or first. Those who find it out win. The male brain is efficient and stimulates the proper processes when needed. Imagine this scene you'll certainly see. Extremely famous. At home, you check your phone. I must have waited 100 times for a simple hello on that day. Nice day. There's no sign I'm thinking about you, just silence. To roar. Meanwhile, a mental image of dread that he shares with her while joking and smiling. Faithful former friends. They could be eating at your favorite restaurant or worse, in their own. As he creates new memories in bed, he will erase yours. And this should keep you up at night. Are you conscious of time? Can a man be emotionally fulfilled by another woman? New neurological research. Emotion studies show that males build new attachments after 60 days. 6 weeks, my reader, barring wise action. There's a 60-day window. He will find it tougher to break up as their relationship grows. This is the unpleasant truth. Day by day, his brain is being rewired to prefer the other woman. She is. Neuroplasticity is against you. Instantly. Examine it thoroughly while doing nothing. When you're unsure whether to call right, be there, or do anything else, he is vulnerable in space, tilting in any direction. The worst part is that most of women in your position make the same mistakes as men. They push the man into the other woman's arms. Apparent errors. They may seem harmless, even moral, but they spark a fire. Curiosity calls. Which error is more common? Crushing need. Express your love for him. How much you need him, miss him, and love him. Midnight interruptions. Expressing emotions with long letters and chat-like requests. Rational. And each time you expose yourself, his brain becomes more vulnerable. The reptile, ancient, non-reasoning, feeling only component sees it as a weakness. Even when they deny it, men don't want it. They can't resist the challenge despite their infirmity. Easy to handle. Now, before you think I want you to, I need to clarify, if you become a cold woman, cheap mind tricks and emotional manipulation are not the issue. This is about understanding the mind. Be manly and utilize it wisely. He must activate his own mechanisms. Emotional attachment. What? He needs to choose you, not because he feels sorry for you or because it's his habit, but because she thinks you're her best future option. This is when things become interesting. Interestingly, the strategies I shall describe with you in the next hours are not from teen magazines or advice from love gurus who have never taken psychology. For what? Decades of cognitive behavioral therapy research back what you'll learn, combining neurological research, clinical experience with hundreds of patients, and personal experience. Being on both sides makes this personal for me. Let me tell you a story few people share. Everyone knows. Years ago, when I was younger and I was naive enough to date. Equation. This story doesn't need details, so I won't. However, I will state, I didn't pick the most passionate, relentless, or sobbing one. The guilty guy saw something about me the other didn't. I must feel that she conquered. Can you distinguish them? This is subdued but powerful. Men's brains are geared for effort. Evolutionary biology underpins this. Men who found compatible partners have been working hard, being persistent, and overcoming obstacles showed their importance. That electric, you can access it any time from your limbic system. Not really. However, before we discuss the ways, please realize your problem's magnitude. Because if To do your best work, you must realize what's at stake. Adjust as needed. They will push you beyond your comfort zone. Step outside your comfort zone and examine long-held assumptions, love and relationships. So, let's have an honest conversation about when a guy has two women, it happens. My advice isn't PC, but it's the reality, so be prepared. Truthfulness based on male brain function rather than ours. I hope it works out. A man torn between two ladies thinks continuously. He may be comparing without realizing it. Plus these. Comparisons involve more than appearance. Just comparing. More complicated. With hundreds of variables. Who runs it? Is he acting manlier? Who soothes him more? Who causes the least trouble? He attributes his greatest future success to whom? Favorite individual is, am I alone in understanding him? When challenged in the, is my measurement correct? Now we can see the detail that changes everything. These differences change throughout time according to past meetings. His brain automatically adjusts the score while he talks to you. Every time she talks to her and responds. It's like a race where the point addition and subtraction are instant. I have a question that may unnerve you. Your opinion on the proper score? What have you learned from our recent conversations? When you've mentioned it, you may be desperate if you've been insecure, ridicule the other woman, or given her ultimatums. Heartbreaking. Sorry if you cried at my choice. Your brain thinks your point loss is fast because few seconds. Problem, demand, duty, humiliation. Not one. People can choose what makes them happy. Negative. We must do things ethically. Remorse or sympathy, not pleasure. Furthermore, if he chose you because, if any of those explanations are wrong, what did you do? A hostile relationship is assured. This leads to the, we must turn worries into urgency. Continuing your current path. If you think real affection is enough, that their friendship went beyond the present, and that he will realize. Wake up and understand you're in a dangerous illusion, because she strengthens her position daily while you wait for that amazing revelation. Every day, every interaction. Even worse, that time will come, possibly sooner than expected, where he chooses in your mind. When he does, ecstatic dependency recognition methods. Finally, your mind will choose one of, the two will struggle to change their decision. Why? Because after that, men are emotionally immersed in big decisions, especially when it comes to couples in committed relationships, reduce cognitive dissonance in the brain. Thus, it will begin, should identify and underline all the proper reasons for their decision. Downplay any conflicting signs. I wish it picked you, but if she chooses the other, your chance is almost gone. Does your stomach not feel real? Abdominal region? Fortunately, your current terror is the right kind. You need this feeling to act quickly. Not tomorrow, not when you're happier, not when every detail is perfect. However, things get trickier now, even more vital. Listen carefully. I'm telling you something essential. Right now, since this distinguishes women who win back their men from those who fail. It's not. His decision of the second option is less relevant than what follows. Picture, he picked her. Engagement and even marriage are the next steps in their relationship. Also, if you meet him in a social situation, through mutual acquaintances, or randomly, you will always have. Instead than seeing her excitement in others, you must see his presentation to her. She was a confident, devoted, and forward-thinking woman. Your wildest aspirations. You must see her live with your ring, where you belong, possibly raising your children. Finally, the cruelest part, every night, when you're alone with your thoughts, knowing you could have helped will break you. You were able to try new methods, implement effective ones, and acquire understanding. You failed to understand male attraction and how to use it to your advantage. For pride, dread, and the assumption that love should be natural and spontaneous, due to behavioral psychology ignorance and fairy tale overuse. Your inner self is battling this. I know, that inner critic who says, Walter, if he loves me, he should. Love is not love if it demands my strategies and plans. I love and respect you. yet that small voice is working against you. This is a result of years of corny music, romantic comedies, and social conditioning. They tried to sell you a fake, lasting love. Success has always required forethought, emotional intelligence, and understanding. Understanding human psychology isn't done by loving couples who stay together for decades. They succeed whether by magic or luck because, whether they understand it or not, they know and apply psychological principles to maintain attraction. You must use those ideas more deliberately when a third party is involved. Increase calculation, not dishonesty, but actuality. The winner of this competition for the love of a loved one is always the one with the best knowledge. She is an adept at following the rules. So are you ready to set aside your desires, and will you be honest about human interactions and get to work? Be his irresistible choice, even if it goes against your love. Drop it. I'll teach you something vital that will make you think twice. Many of your assumptions will be tested in the coming hours. You'll have to change your lifelong character. It will make you more self-aware, strategic, and emotionally stable than ever. To feel uneasy. Change is hard, but what's worse? Having to adjust for a few weeks while applying is awful. You can master these methods or live your life regretting your failures. Do everything possible for the man you love. Let's look at several examples before discussing strategies. First, we must establish why he should choose you. Solid. Since many women desire my rapid ways. Tricks and shortcuts have their place, but ineffective without understanding their fundamentals. This principle is crucial, so memorize it. Men base decisions on emotions, not reasoning. Importantly, they justify that decision. Your gut probably wants rational proof. Why are you better for him? Why do you share more memories? You know him better than prefrontal cortex requests. Their rational intellect, not where they choose a partner. Relationship decisions are made by limbic structures, lower-level brain circuitry that process emotions. Structures can understand how someone can affect your emotions regardless of their rationality. It affects cortisol levels and brain reward center stimulation, whether it makes serotonin, dopamine, and oxytocin. Secure bond in health. When trying to convince him to choose you, instead of focusing on how to convince him, I'm the one, consider, how can I make them feel something just by being with them? Good, strong. This is the problem. Perhaps in your current state. Connection with him, especially during conflict, doubt, and stress. Your brain is linking you to stress and anxiety. Value of emotional dignity. Feel guilty and confused as she, the other, it probably means something new, interesting, and simple. Your mind goes blank. Each of you lights it up differently, revealing that you have a mountain to climb, not just one. Starting today, you must become the best option and break out from dangerous relationships. It's like restarting a computer, but these negative connections are now good. This computer works despite its decades of pre-programming and absence of an instruction manual. I'll show you the steps so it's possible. Second, understand the concept of the theory of perceived value is in social psychology, interpersonal communication that involves relationship evaluation. Sometimes subconsciously, we weigh pros and downsides. The benefits and effort of each relationship are considered when a man chooses between two women. He constantly weighs which woman is worth more. Not only beauty and social status determine worth, but also a complicated equation that includes his emotional response, the drama it contributes to his life, and his support versus resistance. Do you respect it? What challenges does it present? Does it provide you peace? Give me a sense of enthusiasm and alignment with your long-term goals. Interesting. Your self-worth may change. A woman's stature may vary with your actions. If it acts like this, its value plummets within weeks. A woman can be afraid, dependent, or overly theatrical. Greatly increase its perceived value with a simple presentation change, its communication and energy output. Hence part of your efforts for the next few weeks, make yourself more useful to them and them less valuable to you. Regards, the other lady. I'm not criticizing her. Not sabotage, which would have no beneficial effect and lower your worth. Subtle and strong. Understanding the third key premise is, human value depends more on perceived scarcity and abundance. Supply and demand drive connections. If he feels, when he notices your value and availability, you'll be there. However, seeing you as a woman with options, now I realize living a full life and taking chances significantly improves your value. Walter, I want him, not other options. The paradoxical reality is clear to me. If you desire his love, show him you can survive without him. We want what appears, which contradicts human attraction, that he's independent. Remember their relationship debut? What has changed since he sought you, tried hard, and tried to impress you? You probably went from threat to comfort, among other things. Human brains want challenge, and security is boring. Challenges demand triumph, therefore part of the goal is to restore challenge and unpredictability. I know it seems counterintuitive when your goal is security, and sometimes staying near isn't best, but that's human psychology. Finally, after all this analysis, you must take this seriously now that you understand the basics. Carefully investigate the methodologies, the tangible approaches. You will be aware that these approaches won't get him to choose you. These low-cost manipulation methods have been developed over many years. Behavioral psychology studies inform my patient care. Workable tactics that respect your and his dignity fail to, instead of tricking him, be charming and confident. Self-actualization's main method, and possibly the most essential, is withdrawal is harder since it goes against all you've learned. It's a strategic retreat, not cowardice or ignoring him. Self-aware, situational, and strategic evaluation to achieve 3 goals. Reasons to avoid pursuing others' trolley bus, female sign. Crucial. Stopping bad relationships is key. I chase him, cry at him, and pressure him every time we meet. It will reinforce your unfavorable association with stress. Stop that tendency immediately with a strategic exit. It allows such linkages. The negatives disappear. Our second goal is to give him space. Remember that people don't value their possessions until they're losing them or afraid of losing them. When you consciously step back, his brain registers your absence. The interesting part is that your brain is programmed to compare and contrast, drawing analogies between sensations, their comfort when you're available versus not, and if you have. The pullout was precise. Having you there is better than having you absent, with one key exception. Third goal, to meet your needs as he worries about losing you. Time to improve oneself. The outcome is unchangeable. Worse, you must alter and take a break to recharge and recuperate emotionally. You must change your thinking and self-worth, where he cannot endure. How can one withdraw calculatedly? It's not like disappearing. That'd be crazy. Counterproductive. Straightforward, drama-free discourse is key. You need time alone to think about what's happening. I've been thinking a lot about our situation, and I need some time for myself. Please respect my need for privacy, so I can focus on getting healthy. You stay put after sending this space, which I require. This retreat has several intriguing events, as witnessed by. First, our brain's reward system activates while we're away. Ironically, the brain is built to pursue that. Similar to how hunger promotes appetite, it is not easily available. Second, we may acquire an obsessive obsession with a forgotten person or food. While you're away, they think. She romanticizes their happy times together. One bias in human reasoning is the hindsight brightness effect. Remembering the past is usually better than. Your departure sparked this bias, and suddenly their happy times together stand clearly, while fewer recent conflicts are important. Finally, and most significantly, your absence. He'll have to learn to live without you, and if the other woman isn't around, then filling the gap, especially if the relationship with, he will realize what it is because she is new and likely not doing it herself. How much should he pay you? What distinguishes you? What does she hide? We can only guess how long the strategic retreat will last. Give the changes at least 2 weeks, preferably 3 or 4. He needs psychological support and to consolidate both in 4 weeks. Therefore, you must run. This relationship window will close. Take a break. And now for the important part. You're not merely. I'll explain how being patient improves you. First, focus on your emotional health by doing things like work through your worries, anxiety, and pain instead of letting them consume you. I recommend emotional control training, regular rigorous exercise, 20 minutes of quiet meditation, at least 4 times a week, boosting endorphins. Journaling can help you process challenging emotions and document your ideas and experiences. Second, you work on your appearance. No dramatic self-improvement is recommended. A good haircut, maximizing what you have, buy new clothes, take care of your skin, and improve your posture. Finally, make you feel wonderful and make him notice you when you see him again. Most importantly, you want to be yourself again. One of the worst marital dynamics is woman losing her identity. In retreat, the man becomes your center. You must reconnect with your passion, friends, hobbies, and goals. Private matters unconnected to him. Why is this important? He must meet a woman who, she is growing, not declining. While you wait for him, you're more appealing than. You were probably desperate and dependent before. Experiences. He may try to contact you during his retreat. Many women fail because they can't control their urges to. Rush to contact them when they see your name in the queue. Keep calm and observe whether he's confused. He will undoubtedly contact you during the retreat, and letting things fall apart will be devastating. Avoid ignoring their messages and answer nicely but forcefully and concisely. Entirely, since that could be perceived as an immature power battle. But don't start a long conversation either. I mean, thanks for asking. I'm terrific at self-focus. Nonetheless, I desperately need this time. No more discussion or clarifications. It has. The solution completes several commendable duties. The first is it proves you can set and maintain fair limits when things get rough. That interests me. It makes him more anxious and curious about other things. Your actions and emotions. Unpredictability attracts. On third, avoid his attention requests at all means to maintain your value. The subject is now. Rebuilding is your second key strategy after strategic retreat. Attract with well-planned, useful interactions. You are. This is the most technical part. So be careful. Act in every contact. So when you reconnect with him after the retreat, every experience should leave you wanting more. Similar to a great appetizer, but satiety is complete. A couple lovely, brief conversations. Excellent. With a wonderful climax before any drama or strife. Where does this fit? The method? Imagine his or your call after 3 weeks of solitude. In his letter, he wants to talk and meet you. Your instinct, it's telling you to take the chance now. He can contact you anytime. That's wrong. In contrast, you draw the interaction framework. Tell him, yes, I can see it, but in my temporary, not at their house. You're not neutral either. Limit yourself to 2 hours of coffee each day. Don't rush. Give yourself a few days to adjust. Make it apparent you're planning. Calendar. Meeting mood is crucial. You can't just turn up. Urgency and a great desire to solve every problem. Immediately, you arrive smiling, confident, and calm. Be honest and moderate. Do not hurry to embrace him. Frantic manner. A gentle and muted welcome. You mention. Cognitive therapy calls it narrative reorganization. Instead of discussing drama, she shares your pain, and another lady shares your triumph. That course you took, that project you started, a quick recap. Subtly, you showed those you reunited with. The clever psychological trick is outlined here. When he arrives, say he's not your focus. You're terrifying them by telling me about your prosperous life. Going off track, you're showing you can be happy without it. Unexpectedly, his absence increases his need for you. After retirement, you must manage 2 issues. Ensure the discussion stays good. Assuming he was. She discusses the other woman and the situation's intricacy. I know you're busy, so gently redirect everything. I just wanted to briefly reconnect with you today. We can discuss difficult topics later. Even when the hour is up, you completed the match, which was impressive. Your presence was welcomed. I must leave. He seeks more because he realizes though the chat was enjoyable, you have other obligations. Life. You don't rush to enjoy every moment with him. What's next? About this first meeting? Many women here message him incessantly. Nice to meet you. Thanks for the coffee. Should I reschedule? No. A simple message is needed 24/7, regardless of your control and scarcity. Next, meeting was nice. I hope you're well. Then silent. Let him lead the next contact. He will, because you've sparked their curiosity and made them curious. You control the words again. By engaging in many monitored discussions like these, you will progressively become, changing his mind about you. You're the intriguing woman. Secure with some alternatives he may not have. Highlighting your strengths is a third and most crucial method. Unique, equal. Each woman has numerous differences, but in the troubled relationships bury those traits. During anxiousness and unpredictable behavior, consider the thing. You attracted him at first, your wit, intelligence, and excitement for a topic, your ability to make him feel heard. Are you still upbeat or have you lost him? Be honest. Lost in the chaos? Amplification actively recovers such traits. Increase them if you're what attracted him. You must reclaim your carefree side. If it was autonomy, you must show your independence more than ever. If you could calm her, you must. To escape the chaos he surely faces. The drawback is that you can't just reclaim those traits. Optimal versus unhealthy love. You give them additional weight by providing proof. As a brave lady, you write about your travels and publish photos online, assuming you were a classy lady. You comment thoughtfully, post fascinating articles, and discuss your reading. Your intellect is continually functioning and expanding as you read. Strategic social network use. Not shared content, but their potential is huge. To purposely generate jealousy in another individual is pointless. Better life. Therefore, when he sees your posts, see the delight and success of a loved and supported woman. That matters to them. My fourth method is plant the seeds of the future. Use this more complicated procedure only once. You'll figure out the main appeal using the approaches provided thus far. This assumes gently, without insisting. Together, future fantasies evolve, yet in a way that men respond to future visions, not yours, which include respect, calm, and support for their career goals, long-term sexual compatibility, and a supportive spouse. Improve without being too critical throughout interactions. You easily demonstrate your services when he mentions a project towards your goal, rather than worrying or giving unwanted advice. You're excited and supportive because of its influence. You show that you are a lady who lets her dreams fly. That energy change sets you distinct. In circumstances where you set expectations, your supporter may view you differently. When discussing relationships in general, rather than your own, you can discuss what makes a good connection. The long-term goal also includes precisely the bond you know he values. The fifth way isn't dishonest. You're merely choosing whatever elements of your vision to share. The term subtle contrast implies importance and delicateness. The other woman will be mentioned. Your first instinct may be to criticize her. Highlighting their flaws and competing with them is fatal. It clarifies. Fearful, self-centered, and useless, you confront it if necessary, unafraid to disagree without becoming aggressive. If he mentions, no, her response is elegant. I enjoy your company. You show extreme jealousy without raising a scene. You sound like a lady who answers. She knows her worth and doesn't need to denigrate others to shine, but quietly, although potentially, your energy and activities contrast. She wants him to find a relationship, unlike her, who is cool and undemanding. You show maturity and grounding by adding drama to the love triangle. She may be adding a dramatic twist. You don't have to do anything to contrast alternatives to demands, rather of stating it. The sixth strategy, perhaps the most important, managing is difficult yet strong. You're not required to go out with anyone because of this. Men, if you prefer not, do not pretend to be someone else. His approach has halted everything. Your energy must be heard. Whether we go on an adventure or not, my life will continue. You can best express this by feeling it for yourself when he unexpectedly invites you to an event. You have other plans, so don't cancel them. Been doing what? Without you and I seeing each other, Is there someone else? Do you have any amusing topics? No. But if you've been doing what I said, males may appear. You shouldn't use them to make them envious, but act if they don't exist. You won't act like a nun while awaiting his verdict. Naturally, you mention it in passing. A friend sent an invitation, but she didn't mention the occasion, hoping to influence someone. Psychologically, this helps sustain. I've aroused their fear of losing you. Remember that people value you more. That may be lost. When you think others notice your value, he's growing better at spotting it automatically. This is social psychology's core principle. Having reached this point, we value what others value. A few weeks of employing all these strategies yields one of two results. The event will happen, but he may lean toward you and show more attention, display more interest, possibly break up with the other woman, or expect to see him strengthening his bond with her. So prepare emotionally and psychologically. The two options, relaxing if she leans toward you, is wrong in its entirety and resume their old routines. It's fine to maintain your restored attractiveness. The bond strengthens over time, but the core ideals remain. A free-spirited woman who defines herself without her husband. You retain your value if you reincarnate as a woman. You will likely become endless and needy again, eliminating him from our life if his preference becomes clear. To get the best results, be honest with yourself. Having the fortitude to gracefully withdraw without drama or last-minute cries. You step back, not by pleading to change their mind, realizing that you tried everything and utilized every method, yet it wasn't enough. Let me tell you the truth. He chose you, so he wasn't meant to be. Discomforting but necessary. Not all men will select you. How time affects emotional decisions. These approaches may not work or be compatible. He sometimes finds himself in a certain stage of life when you need to learn from someone else. Sometimes, for inexplicable reasons, we have better chemistry with her. If so, then, no matter how hard you try, you must love yourself enough to accept it and go on. The first step to being entire, happy, and fulfilled is to need no one. No matter how much you love him, how much history you had, or how much it hurts, you will be okay without him. There are psychologists who would rather not discuss this topic, but I will since it's important. This may be politically inappropriate, but I must tell you for your benefit. Appearance matters. Sometimes it's about his choice, not winning. That would never harm you, because if a guy had to, I'm sure picking you was well planned. What if he waffled between you and someone else for weeks or months? Is that the foundation for a happy marriage? How can we know after 6 months? He won't be there when another attractive woman enters his life next year. Confused about the same thing? Here will be painful, but you must. Suppose he was the one and you were meant to be with. Strong and roomy. It may have fit a third person. Healthy partnerships, where both partners are happy and invested, do not allow. If outside parties get involved, maybe this isn't that awful. How you judge his worthiness matters more than how you influence his choice. My excellent reader, you have power, so choose. Also, you're attempting to figure out if a guy dumped you. She deserves your love, time, and support in this awful and embarrassing situation. Energy. Your health depends on this mindset change. Emotional and psychological. If you're at what do I do? For him to choose me, you become a defenseless beggar. If you adapt, if he doesn't like my best self, I'll stop. You regain your strength and self-respect. Now the ways. He will choose you because of everything I've taught you, and you'll become a valuable woman. He'll lose a lot if he doesn't pick you, because you're so beautiful and confident. You'll be fine. They're supposed to empower you, not oppress you. Moving on to more realistic themes, let's discuss dangerous mistakes to avoid. Avoid this while here because the strategies will help you do things well, that I have instructed you. But if you make even one mistake, your efforts will be wasted. The first rule is to avoid facing or criticism of the other woman or their shared friends. This makes you appear insecure and self-centered in online communities. Felt threatened because drama and insecurity are the death knells of attraction. Adding to that, put him in charge of protecting her to develop his bond with her. Emotional ultimatums are the second fatal mistake. Choose her or me. You'll never see me again until you break up with her immediately. Decide by Friday. Never use an ultimatum. Love-related topics. Their only success has been cornering him. Perhaps the strain is momentary, but the man rebels because he feels confined. However, his hatred of being forced into the relationship will force him to break it. Anyway, following their social media accounts was the third fatal mistake. I understand people are naturally curious about their location, if they're together, and how they're doing. Their closeness is strong, yet this hurts just you. Photos of them together always turn out a self-esteem knock. Her every word in the "I feel anxious" whenever he posts. And if he finds out, it will be a lot worse. Another terrible mistake. Stalking makes you look desperate. Use intermediaries to communicate with him. Ask some mutual friends to talk to him. They must determine the other's condition, regardless of her discomfort. Unfocused and immature. Ask him everything you need. She asks you directly. Communication triangles cause miscommunication and controversy. Fifth is the classic drunk meeting, where fun increases with booze. It's a formula for the intense, with easier contact information availability. Tragic occurrence. Dawn calls and weeping SMS. They kill you after a few drinks of wine when you declare your love for him. Value perceived. Remove their number from your phone. Before going out, have a friend hold it. Tragic mistake. Regaining your strength. 6. Rushing sexual intimacy. They meet during reconquest, causing sexual tension. That's wrong. A close connection requires physical contact to push him to choose you. Until both parties know the relationship's future, being sexually intimate with you only confuses the issue. Maintaining contact doesn't mean she's chosen you. Set boundaries till she committed. They're bad decision. 7th, allowing an indeterminate situation. When men are unclear what to do, the captors allegedly leave the two ladies in limbo. He has no firm commitments, but refuses to break them. This must stop immediately. After a few months, to execute your calm, precise strategies, please reveal our destination. I can't continue with this uncertainty. Never ending. This is a sensible restriction, not an order. We may now discuss signals. Proof that your tactics are working. Contrast the signs of stopping progress. Reading them is key. These signs should help you adjust your strategy. Getting there, especially without. He just wants to talk to you and wants more information about you. Discuss your excellent times together. He lies to see you and is nice in your company. You were watched. Mentioning the other woman too much will be awkward. He starts making nebulous plans for the future that involve you whenever the topic comes up, which is a good sign. You're performing poorly. The talks are becoming one-sided. His response to your messages is slow. He routinely cancels plans with you. When he talks about another woman, he's enthusiastic and affectionate. He's not interested in you. In the same room, they seem chilly and unapproachable. Here's the crucial part. She mentions future plans without you. If you're still struggling after 6 to 8 weeks of applying these strategies, only seeing terrible things often means it's time to. The first step to letting go is admitting reality, right? Because you failed. You shouldn't worry about winning this fight. Because I want to discuss something you've probably been thinking about all along. But, Walter, that sounds like a lot of control and effort. Approach. Isn't spontaneous love better? In the beginning, love can feel spontaneous when you're young and full of life. But true love endures hardships, crises, and temptations. Strategies, purposeful action, and intentionality are always needed. Intimate friendships that thrive after decades. They went there because, intentionally or not, to stay attractive, they use psychological methods. All I'm teaching you is that emotionally savvy people prepare ahead. They do it effortlessly. Let me show you a map of a region that might otherwise. Extra effort required? Yes. Is it worth it does it lead to a romantic partner? That's your question. However, if he doesn't, you can choose the path to a better, safer you. Being self-aware is valuable. Developing skills, self-control, limits. Being well, communicating strategically, and liking yourself will assist you in all aspects of life. Long-term relationship. You're investing in yourself and a man. On the topic of self-improvement, I'd want to mention something that rarely comes up in these conversations. Personal story and ideas are essential. Thus, your thoughts about yourself, him, or the situation influence your conduct. If you keep telling yourself, I am inadequate, he will be too. I'm not appealing enough for him to stay. Release from emotional restrictions as real appeal. Young man, she outshines me in every way. Any means. Immovable items. Low self-esteem will penetrate you. Encounters. Since no one else is interested, he will be pulled to it. Relationships with self-doubters lead to emphasis on. Our cognitive restructuring therapy can help you rewrite your story. If you think poorly about yourself actively, instead of staying, you face and replace it with something more practical and empowering. If he doesn't appreciate me as a special lady, I'm enough, you think. You think we're better than her, but she doesn't. I can help many people because we all have distinct abilities. You think, I can't live without him. I love him and I want it to work. But I'm, whether present or not, these are comprehensive assertions. It's crucial to absorb these realities because they'll change your mood and being. Being genuine and self-confident with him is engaging. Since you're intrigued, let's discuss time. When can I expect to know whether this worked? There are many factors, such as how long he's been seeing the other woman and what. How damaged was your relationship by him? How strong is it? She appears? How often do you use these? Procedures? Age, honestly. Psychological development, personal concerns, and emotional maturity. However, generally, if you've tried these strategies for 3 months with no progress, try something else. After you accept his decision, you should let go if he means a lot to you. Give him 3 months to witness how you change and feel your presence and absence, strategically to aid the brain's comparison-making processes. If not, there is no tendency toward you in 3 months. Is considering ending their relationship or giving it serious consideration. Stay put. He's looking for you. Being vague will just hurt your self-esteem and waste your time. Letting go once all possibilities are exhausted is difficult but necessary. This happens 40% of the time in my clinical practice. Men frequently choose the other women in triangle relationships if they already have one. Lady, for reasons unrelated to your worth. Be prepared for tough situations. You want to be involved if it happens. That searing pain forces you to pick your response now, when you can better arrange your answer to his alternative option. Your let-go strategy should include a complete communication stop. For several months, I will not interact with him on social media, react to his messages, or ask him questions. Only telling mutual acquaintances can start to wean your brain off it. Emotionally, trustworthy friends, family, and a therapist might also help. When you want to contact him, and have rituals to let go and remember your worth. Eliminate unnecessary items by writing a letter you'll never send, but will communicate what you need to say. They bring back too many memories and make us change our behaviors without him. They reveal facts, and you must personally commit that you won't allow this setback stop you, but rather use it to advance. Stay put. I've seen this many times. Advice. Women who survive these times are those who, they intentionally suffer for personal progress. They take that class they've been intending to or move to a new city. They finish that assignment you've been putting off and socialize. Guys, don't rush, but remember they can choose alternative options, and then they see him again 6 months or a year after or learn about his life and realize, since they've improved so much, it's surprising that it hurts less. When loving also entails releasing, they are grateful that their relationship failed, since they would not be where they are today without him. That's the goal, reader. It's not enough to get there. Although you become gorgeous, successful, and important, he still chooses you, recognizing your worth and accepting that it worked out even if he doesn't pick you. Now that's done, let's discuss your tactics failure. They work, and he tilts toward you because you're in a hurry. It won't be easy to relax and handle that adjustment. Return to old habits when you feel better, a common mistake. Many ladies are sent back to the beginning when he does this. He cuts contact with the other woman, professes his want to be with you, and acts like you're his first option, consistently to navigate change. With information, Being polite and courteous is acceptable. Don't abandon the old methods just yet. He was drawn to your independence, interests, and limits. First, be yourself. Second, eventually, talk to him about what happened without accusing him. Do not reprimand or compel him. Stay feeling horrible forever, but to heal their relationship so they can finally go on, maybe they should converse more. I hope this doesn't happen again. Together, we should address certain topics more. We should think, let's build something better. Not, I'm going to. Third, accept that it will take time and apologize for what you did to me. Regaining self-confidence. It's normal to have transient misgivings, to wonder if. Give yourself time to process the hurt, but remember that he let her go. When anxieties arise, prevent them from controlling the connection. Finally, and most importantly, consult a couples therapist. Make sure this new relationship is absolutely distinct from their old one. They can repeat the patterns that let a third person in. Take advantage of their misery. They'll get into problems there again. Seeing it as an opportunity to improve communication, thought, and relationships. That pleases both of you. Fifth, monitor your personal behavior that shows you're domineering or needy. Betrayal or near betrayal makes you want control and certainty. Read his texts and imprison him nonetheless. Trusting but over-emotional will damage a relationship. Nobody can govern or monitor it when it doesn't exist. Thus, you must choose to be together, returning to trust while aware of his and the risk for additional damage. If you can't trust each other, you could damage a terrific relationship. Love sometimes requires bravery to be exposed again after being hurt. I must now be honest about one part since. Many women get trapped comparing themselves to others. Knowing or seeing her makes you compare yourself to her. Her photos. Your mind is always making comparisons. She looks younger, fitter, and more vibrant and carefree. Comparing yourself to others can only lower your self-esteem. Finding defects in others and comparing them superficially will always lead to complaints. If you base it on youth, beauty, accomplishment, etc., there will be more women. You will never feel good enough if you let others judge you. You're not fighting to be better. You must understand this emotionally and intellectually, more than she does objectively. This shows your value, your personal features, your unique relationship. Though you share many traits with her, you are different. Their options are different, and he won't choose one. Buying the same thing is preferable. You're choosing between two people. Which one works best with what? You have no control over his current requirements. You can only show oneself in the best light regardless of age, history, or current situation. Let him select if that version meets his demands. If not, if he's in a similar situation or needs her services, but you don't discover common ground, your unwillingness to see your value reveals his life and current state. Know that your worth as an individual and spouse is not based on. From this perspective, it fades because one person cannot see it. Independence and self-evaluation independent of others' decisions. This gift will help you in any situation, but especially this one, because there will be many occasions in your life when no one chooses you. Someone doesn't like what you do. If you're always affected, it means you'll never be secure or good enough. As long as you have self-esteem, it doesn't matter what others do. Honestly say, I am valuable. Admitting it makes you invincible, somehow unbreakable, is extremely enticing. Now I want to talk about something vital but rarely discussed. Sex and physical attraction's role. To be honest, many men have numerous girlfriends for the same reason, due to a high sexual drive that may have been missing or weakened your sexual history with him. I realize this is hard to hear, but it's vital. You could have rejected her if she appeared often or rarely. That contributed to the current predicament. Men need, for sexual desire, humans need a fulfilling sexual life. Often, I'm not blaming you. He should have been held accountable for his conduct somewhere. Options, but I think she should be honest about whether that domain. Given the effort needed to rebuild a relationship, you may need to. Develop your sexuality, which means different things to everyone. Some ladies simply want to be more. They are less bashful and more open about their sexuality, so may need body image help. It makes people uncomfortable in close quarters, when exploring new places. Be more open about what you want and prioritize sex over other things. It's only possible in a perfect world. They can't look alike when they reconnect physically. Unlike their prior intercourse, this is bland and predictable. Passion is needed. New territory experimentation. Experiencing enormous mutual desire between you and him, since he may be feeling that intensity in his new sexual relationship with her. I'm not suggesting you impersonate someone else. Feeling unprepared but questioning yourself. To be honest, my anxiety and comfort limit my sexual expressiveness. Doing things, exploring boundaries, would deepen my understanding. We're connected because sexual compatibility is key in relationships. It's not the only aspect, but it's crucial. If it's not working, no matter how compatible they are emotionally or intellectually, most people can never make up for it. Consequently, you may need to work in this sector. If you're uncomfortable discussing this topic or have severe concerns with your sex, therapy is not a sign of weakness because it may help with sexuality, crucial to your overall health. Now, let's review common communication mistakes that cause possible retake. She needs surgical precision for this delicate surgery. Every phrase, tone, and text counts. Excessive communication is a common mistake. After strategic withdrawal, they open up emotionally. Once you can talk again, you'll want to disclose everything. Discomfort and avoiding deep discussions about don't give in to that impulse. Discuss those later. After withdrawal, rebuilding relationships begins, but not then. Emotional clarifications follow attraction. Mistake number 2, asking. Constant reassurance. Have you missed me? Are you contemplating my thoughts? You know you will eventually decide. How do you feel about me? Rick? These questions are insecure. Finding comfort is more vital than increasing the relationship, which weakens it. Showing rather than telling is a third communication mistake. Because you study each message, even a brief one takes 2 hours. Exploring it with others, seeking meaning in each word, his response time, punctuation, and so on. Stop overanalyzing everything. It will only lead you astray and give you meaningless information. Please respond appropriately and continue living since these messages are taken literally. Texting to start an emotional conversation is mistake number 4. Face-to-face or phone conversations are preferable for delicate topics because emotions and tone are easier to read. Text messages are ideal for logistics, small talk, and sharing. I'm not seeking your feelings or forcing you to face reality. Situation. 5th communication mistake, message composition. Activities that foster independence, red heart. When you feel self-conscious, angry, depressed, or disappointed. These are bad communication tips if you need to write. To release powerful emotions, write them in private notes, but don't send them till they pass. Keep calm, review your work, and write something new. Effective communication is new and better. She stays calm and strategic. Despite her lack of manipulation and calculation, she is mindful. Your communications should help you achieve your goal. Stay close to him. I'll talk to you. What space is and how it eludes you. But when handled properly, it's more complicated than usual and involves controlling contact, not just avoiding it. Cautiously into their life to have the maximum impact with all your contacts. If you're never delay in responding, being with you is like repeating music. It becomes old fast. It loses its originality over time. But if you appear rarely and make an effort, an unexpected availability pattern that engages him, pay attention. This does not mean being unclear or inconsistent. It means sticking to key concepts, and you may respond quickly one day and later the next. You have a quick but lovely chat via message on the second day after hours of work on the first. Responding means accepting one invitation while rejecting another. Simply put, you have other plans. Sometimes you contact him instead of waiting for him to. Try it. The deliberate unpredictability will fascinate your brain. The brain's unpredictable patterns allow us to. Our brains can let go of predictable things for survival, on autopilot, but under uncertainty. The brain must keep processing information. You should invest in their lives because of this. Has no idea what to expect from me. His mind is always racing. Put mental energy in understanding you, thinking about you. This is practical. What's your relationship with him? How should I act if we encounter by chance, alone or with him and her? It depends. Considering your situation, their social connections, and co-workers, this process may bring you together with mutual friends. You should prepare mentally and physically in case they arrive at the same moment. Dress to impress him and yourself. Invite buddies who encourage and inform them. Make a plan. While he's with her, act a specific manner. Simply state that you're all right without sounding like, I'm pretending to be okay. If necessary, you say hello swiftly but don't linger. You look comfortable. Welcome him and her politely. You want to talk. Polite and distant, not interested in mingling. Then you focus on. The most essential thing is enjoying oneself with loved ones. Show him that you can have fun without him. Existence, even without him. If you feel joy, relaxation, and laughter, having fun, especially if other guys are staring at you with a certain expression, you'll think, wait, I'm losing here. However, if it sees you sadly ducked inside a turn, casting pity stares or worse, making you're over-dramatizing. You're just confirming she was right to go. Chance meetings are opportunities to demonstrate value, not to cause trouble due to instability. Yes, you can put that seat in the spotlight or against someone. Let me tackle a difficult issue. Maybe I messed up in his head. What should you do if you discover facts you don't want to know? In a committed relationship, or if she is. These are situations where the truth. Initially, learning about it will change your situation. Relax. Discuss it with someone before responding. Trust yourself or see a therapist. The outcomes may surprise you. Maybe you should pull back from the struggle instead of giving it your best. Loss, such as when married or engaged, or when, if a pregnant lady is involved, the dynamics change considerably. I'm saying he can't pick you because I've seen it happen. Things can become crazier, but the odds are low and the mental toll of fighting will sometimes be too much. If you won, would you still desire a man? What does he say about leaving his pregnant wife or child's mother for you? If that describes his character, how sure are you that he won't treat you similarly? The best long-term strategy is often to retreat. Start healing with dignity. It's not about losing. As it is now evident, you should avoid this disagreement. After covering all the tactical intricacies of this method, I'll return to the core, your mental state throughout the struggle. Until your crippling dread goes away, nothing I've taught you will work. Mental wellness should come first if you're depressed, more than convincing him to choose you. I'm not only making a moral case. Important strategically, a mentally sick woman, depression and anxiety make it impossible to be positive, necessary to win this event. As we proceed, as mentioned, anxiety requires specialist treatment. In addition to physical activity and meditation, the 478 breathing technique is helpful for extreme anxiety spells. Breathe in for 4, hold for 7, then exhale for 8. Do strenuous aerobics for 45 minutes daily. Weekly running, dancing, and spinning are required. Endorphins will rise, cortisol will fall, and you'll feel better. Keep a notebook every day, even for 10 minutes before bed, to sleep better. Write down your obsessive thoughts to stop them from rushing in your head. Address them objectively, resolve problems, and reduce alcohol consumption. Be careful. It may assist with anxiety temporarily, but worsen it over time. Due to sleep deprivation, having 7 or 8 hours of sleep each night is crucial. It intensifies every negative feeling. Eat well because the brain. Feel-good neurotransmitters require certain nutrients. If none of this is there, quite enough. If you're desperate and considering self-harm or losing control, if you have significant depression, see a therapist or psychiatrist immediately. Taking a short-term mental health medication may show intelligence and self-care. Getting this man shouldn't hurt your mental health. Whenever you feel like your sanity or his is at stake, never compromise your sanity. Let me offer a concept that could change your perspective by considering that this is all a misunderstanding. That may sound like foolish optimism, but everything is working for you. Stay with me when you're hurting. Hard crises are hard to face. This kind of challenge pushes us to grow in unexpected ways. Raising your self-esteem, limitations, communication, and having emotional control in every scenario is called emotional intelligence. That will help you forever, no matter what this man does. He's forcing you to face an uncomfortable fact. A final emotional clarity message. You may have had toxic relationships, problems with emotional reliance, dysfunctional boundaries, and losing oneself in relationships. Enormous effort to find self-worth without external validation. Outside, this unpleasant situation may inspire. Finally, you had to become your fantasy self. If you can turn into someone you've never been forced to be, you'll win. Win him back, and win regardless of what happens if he chooses you. If he doesn't pick you, you've improved. You still win because you improved and can attract what you want. More rewarding relationships and guys that appreciate you immediately. Your tragic experience may be life's greatest blessing. What I have to offer, you may not seem like a gift today, but months or years from now, maybe this was a deciding element that got you to, that you can become the woman God created you to be. I'll give you some specific tasks to complete tomorrow because everything I've said has been in vain. First, write your approach. If you can't execute, for strategic retreat, when and how will you talk to this person? Section, what tangible steps will you take to improve? Step 2, choose 3 areas of your life to improve. Get serious about fitness or work. You'll focus on relationships, hobbies, and the third stage is to construct a list. Worrying was pointless. Of your many great qualities, skills, and unique attributes. Reading that list in the morning may sound cheesy, but retraining your brain to. Fourth, eliminate or reduce your shortcomings. Reduce music, TV, and movies that promote victim or desperate mentalities. Heartbreaking love stories. Movies where the heroine yearns for romance. Personal relationship counselor websites that profit on hopelessness. Step 5, boost yourself and feel strong. It includes daily tasks without contemplating him or trying to win him over. Monday workout in class. Tuesday supper with friends. Wednesday off. Allow time each day for enjoyable activities like hobbies. You fill it with fixation. Step 6, get one. A trusted friend or acquaintance who knows the situation and has been tasked to prevent unproductive behavior. The one you can confide in when you're intoxicated and want to send a sad text at 2 a.m. 7th, schedule assessments and milestones in the morning. You can objectively assess the likelihood of success after 4 weeks of using these strategies. Good news. Another assessment is 8 weeks away, saving you from getting stuck. You are stuck in limbo without a choice. Putting all we've discussed into action requires this. It will work if you're serious. It requires effort, self-control, and discomfort. But here's the thing. If you get the man you want, is it worth the effort? It either becomes your passion or improves considerably. Who are you to criticize someone else? Only you know. But if you've made it this far and worked hard, then, just by listening to me, you've probably figured out, determine it's worth it, and are ready to perform the work. Important note, no magic in what I've showed you. These strategies and approaches will fail until if you try them for a week and then return to your old behaviors. You're only doing half the work. He can ruin your plans with a casual talk. So be wary, systematic and consistent, especially when. Sometimes you'll need to call him desperately, making it hard. I will cry excessively and beg him to return some nights. Just checking their Instagram or sending them that message makes me think there will be. You have confidence crashes and think, this isn't going to work sometimes. I should give up. I'm a moron. Sometimes you need to remember why you started. Reconnect with your future goals and why they matter. Use your resources. Armory. Contact an accountability friend. Run to reduce tension. Read all your self-worth notes again. Unease without submission. Throughout most of the women in your situation will only listen to me, not act on it. After experiencing it, they will say, yes, this makes sense. And continuing their tactic. They aim to pursue him forever, groveling before him, urgent, After realizing it was pointless, they'll say, Walter's strategies didn't work. Their inconsistency and lack of implementation damage the strategies. Lack of patience. If you do this, give it your full attention. Having left the building, ready to continue your routine immediately. It's hard, but give it your best for 2 months and see what occurs. Discipline and strategy differ from reaction and emotion. Check whether you followed all the measures and haven't seen results after 2 months. If you can convince them you have the answer, not because you failed, since it was never your struggle to lose, you may move on, always remembering that you gave it your all. If you detect any improvement, when they tilt toward you, you're making progress. Keep refining your approach until you succeed. Final product. I'll end by being honest, woman. I understand your anguish, like a male would tell a woman. I know there are moments when I know you sometimes glance in the mirror and feel like you'll burst. Your reflection makes you think, what does she have I don't? Or what went wrong? You were enough, right? I sympathize with your pain. I've been there too. In my job, thousands of women have experienced what you have. Your sorrow is real and legitimate, but I'm not there telling you to ignore it. But I also want you to. I wish I could tell you something no one else has. You are more valuable than anything, even one person. You're still a good lady and partner even if someone doubts you. Nothing else, as this is the only truth you need. Remember that you are complete, precious, and worthy of great love. No need to change anything. You're attractive, young, interesting, and wonderful. Nothing else is needed. Truly cared for. If he can't see it, he overlooks the beauty in front of him because he's obsessed with a new woman. Dear reader, that is your modest loss. The purpose of teaching you these tactics was to assist you overcome the self-criticism and depression are masks you wear to hide your genuine self. Stronger and more authentic you. When that version emerges, it will mesmerize him and everyone with the EQ to notice your. Using these methods, you can work hard and become worth it in your improved self-image. But do it for yourself, not to reclaim it. Do it because you deserve to be an independent woman, regardless of the cost. Despite this agony, I am managing with the situation, and I want you to understand. Sometimes stress brings out a new, undiscovered you. One built to be stronger, wiser, and more confident. The crucible turned it into pure gold. The woman on the other side will remember you as the current you. He will feel terrible for her and be proud because she is in agony, afraid, and desperate. You choose to fight despite pain and fear. That future lady, my darling, you invest in yourself and refuse to let this circumstance define you. Dear friend, if you use your judgment, this man will be your wonderful mate. She may be happy to stay single or with a better companion than you expected. So complete that a romantic relationship is nice. Yet, this is not an emergency, but you must do it everywhere. You may help her succeed. You'll help her thrive. If you work hard and use what I've taught you, you'll become that person. Calm down, madam, and dry your eyes. You'll always utilize this once you decide to. You'll work hard and be inspired to change in this situation. You'll become that powerful person using these approaches. Conclusions and thoughts. Once you know if he chose you, you can decide. Judgment on your selection of him. My esteemed reader, the decision is yours whether this guy with all the... You should give him his gift because he's indecisive and can hurt you. Use the fact that you have as much free will as he does to your advantage. You've come this far. You've been paying attention. You have the courage and resolve. Now you just need to. Utilize that power by focusing on yourself and your. You'll improve and achieve self-determination. Don't worry. You'll do fine. Combat and survival skills will help you succeed. She was powerful without needing anyone to remind her. After being reminded and given the tools, nothing can stop you. Make yourself the captivating lady he always wanted, and he can decide if he wants you. Your chooser is wise, yet it doesn't matter because, my dear friend, you prioritize yourself. She has always been first. Supreme knowledge.